Man, I'm back. Quick thought. We're gonna do a part two, man, on this self-love because that's how important it is, right? So I did a part one on self-love, but I didn't go in depth about like what does it look like? Like how do I apply self-love? How do I use it? And how do I live through it? How do I benefit from loving myself? Well, and what can you do it? So here's a few things I want you to be aware of when it's time to love yourself. One thing is awareness, just like being aware of who you are. That looks like every time you look in the mirror, you got to be aware of that's what you see. That's what's there, right? Just being aware of that's the energy you have. That's the body you have. That's the eyeballs you have. That's the skin you have. And if it's nothing that you can't change or fix with a diet or something like that, you have to let that be. You have to accept that, acceptance, right? So that's the first part of this process of loving yourself. You got to accept everything that you can't change, right? Meditation. The reason why meditation is important because our thoughts are chaotic and we don't know how to process. We can wake up and our day can be hectic, right? So it's very, very important to start your day with meditation. What is meditation? Meditation is the art of breathing. Not focusing on thoughts or trying to control your thoughts. Meditation is just being centered in the moment or learning how to center yourself through breathing. I can show you a quick breathing technique. What I mean when I say you got to disconnect to yourself before you start your day. Meditation is very, very important. So you can do a quick technique. You can close your eyes, sit still, and make sure the spine is straight. The spine got to always be straight because that's where the energy is going to flow up the body or the spine, your energy and the fluids up the spine to create this balance to calm the nervous system, right? So what you want to do is you want to sit still somewhere and keep the back straight. And you want to take 10 deep breaths through your nose and think positive and out through the mouth negative. And you want to breathe through the stomach, okay? So what I mean is you want to exhale and inhale where the stomach is going in and out, not shoulders up and down. So like animals do, you want to see your stomach go in and out like this, pumping fluids up the spine, okay? So I'm going to give you a quick demonstration. We're going to do it I'm going to do it 5 times. You ain't got to do it with me. I'm just going to show you a quick demonstration so I can show you what I mean when I say meditation and what it looks like. So I sit still. And the whole time I'm breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, I'm not trying to control my thoughts. That's the biggest misconception about meditation. I'm not trying to control my thoughts. Your thoughts are going to happen. You have 70,000 thoughts a day and they are energy. They're going to happen. So what you want to focus on is just the breathing, and you keep breathing and you keep breathing. And what you're going to do is you're going to find the body is going to start to relax and the spirit is going to take over because the spirit literally means breath. Breath is spirit. So spirituality is the art of breathing. So that's another thing about loving yourself. A third thing I want you to be mindful of and what loving yourself looks like is exercise. Exercise is the least used antidepressant on the face of the earth. If you feel any kind of stress, depression, sadness, grief, anything, exercise, yoga. I'm talking about you can do a 10-minute workout and get rid of all that stress, all that tension. I'm talking about it strengthens the immune system, unclears the mind. I'm talking about clears the mind up, right? Just by exercising. That's another thing, another form of loving yourself because it's your body. If you feel, some people get headaches. That's not loving yourself because you stress yourself there. Either you ate yourself to that headache or you stress yourself there. It's not loving yourself because you need yourself to get you from point A to point B. You need yourself. So be mindful, exercise. And another one is eating. Now I know this is going to be a thing. Now I know because people are so addicted to the food they like and it's so good. I get it. But listen, loving yourself literally starts with what you put inside of your temple. Because everything that you put inside your temple that is not whole and is cooked is going to cause inflammation in your body. You can't love yourself from that perspective. You can't. So I want you to understand what this stuff is. Processed foods, everything we cook. We can take it. I don't care if it's meat. I don't care if it's potatoes. I don't care if it's a plant. I don't care if it's an onion. I don't care what it is. And you cook it with oil and put it to the body. First, the body is going to create mucus to try to get them toxins out the body. It's going to start coming out your nose. It's going to start coming out your skin. It's going to start coming out your ear, your wax, your saliva. It's going to start coming out as mucus. Once the mucus and the lymph nodes in your body start to get backed up, that mucus didn't do its job enough because the bacteria in the body started to ramp up. And what happens is it causes inflammation now. And once the body becomes inflamed, the cells die and become cancerous. So we have to be mindful of what we put inside our body when I'm talking about loving yourself. Because if you can't tell me, you can put some in your body, make you feel bad, and you still say, I love me. I had to learn how to love me by paying attention when I put in my body. I ate something 3 years ago from a crab shack, crazy crab, angry crab, or whatever it is you think about the name of it. I don't want to eat nothing angry, right? So I ate an angry crab, and it did something to me. It made my stomach angry. It was 3 years ago. I went 2 days being sick. Didn't want to eat nothing. Throwing up, using the bathroom. Third day, I felt pretty good. Fourth day, I felt great. But 5 days that I went without eating nothing but just drinking water and being in the sun. And I can tell you now, the longer you go without eating, the better you're going to feel. The body is going to heal itself. The body is going to cleanse itself of all that inflammation, all that mucus is locked up into the joints. And by the way, all loving yourselves. Remember what we're talking about, what it looked like. When you see somebody with Alzheimer's, when you see somebody with asthma, you see somebody with joint pain, understand that's inflammation. And understand it all came by way of what we eat. And it all can go away by stop eating the stuff that caused it. That's simple. That's what loving yourself look like. Especially if we're aware of it. We know we eating poison. We know we eating stuff because we feel bad that we eat it. But it tastes good. That's not loving yourself. Okay, the last thing I want to say about what loving yourself looks like is the way you respond and treat people, man. It's a reflection of how you feel. If I'm walking around treating people like crap, that's because that's how I feel. I haven't loved myself yet. You see, and to my wife, you know, Carisha, she don't talk to me now, but I didn't know at the time, I didn't love myself. And it showed in my behavior towards her. You see, that's once again, loving yourself comes by way of how you treat other people. Because once you love yourself and care about yourself in a certain kind of way, it's going to reflect that. It's going to show. Every time you speak to somebody, every time you come across somebody, do business dealings with anybody, you're going to always, and I do mean always, treat people how you feel. I didn't know that. If I feel like crap, I'm going to treat people like crap. If I love myself, if I really do care about myself, though, if I love myself and I'm kind with myself and I'm patient with myself, this is how I'm going to be with everybody else. So love, self-love, what it look like. It looks like meditation. It looks like eating better. It looks like treating yourself better. It looks like treating other people better. It just looks like being positive. It looks like being happy, choosing that. It looks like peace. Loving yourself looks like everything that's going to make you feel good and nothing is going to make you feel bad. And I only speak because I know what hating myself is. I've been in the game. You know, I sold drugs before. I had to do a lot of things like to survive and being in prison, just a kid. But in the midst of all that stuff, I learned how to love me. And by loving me, all that stuff corrected itself. All that behavior, all the way I was feeling so lost, so hurt. So everything came by way of loving myself. And it looked like meditation. It looked like exercise. It looked like eating healthier. It looked like talking to myself better. It looked like thinking better, because the mindset, believe it or not, has a lot to do with how we feel anyway. If you have a mindset that says and tell yourself this programming that you're not good, I'm not smart, I can't do this, if that's your mindset, well, everything's going to follow the mind. Your life is going to turn out the way your mindset is programmed. If you wake up and tell yourself every day that I love myself, that there's nothing goes against me, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. You know, I'm all powerful, I'm all knowing. If you tell yourself these things, right, you will become that. What does I am mean in Hebrew? I call forth. That which I speak, I call forth. So everything you say after I am, you become. So speak highly of yourself. Affirmations is the most powerful way of loving yourself, because you're your cheerleader. I'm my own hype man. I'm my own spliff star. Shouts out to Busta Rhymes. I'm good. I get on stage and rock myself. If ain't nobody behind me shooting me out, doing all that, I'm gonna do that to myself. You ain't gotta support me. You ain't gotta rock with me. I got a hype man inside of me. It's a God. I rock with myself. That's what loving yourself look like. That's a form of loving yourself. That's what it looks like. So I just wanted to give you visuals of what it looked like in yoga. Believe it or not, the Bible speaks about yoga when Christ talking about the yoke. If you look at what the word yoke means yoga. And you do feel light after you do yoga. Yoga is stretching and breathing. That's what yoga is. What you're doing is you stretching the body. So every time we do exercise, the meditation and yoga, and we speaking about practices and exercises and stuff we have to do with the body, what you're doing is you disconnecting your flesh, which is your physical, from your spiritual. You disconnecting that by breathing, spirituality, and stretching. It's tension in our bodies from stress. Our nervous system take on a lot of stress, and we get angry, we get frustrated, we get sad, we get depressed, right? Once this energy is inside of the body, it'll turn into sickness, and you have to release it. That's caring for yourself. That's what love look like. I don't want to walk around with stiff necks and all this tension in my body if I care about myself. So that's another form of what self-love look like. Yoga is a beautiful thing, especially if you can do it hot naked. Hot naked yoga with no clothes on is a high vibrational act I think everybody should experience. Oh my God. It's not perverse. It's beautiful. Because what it's going to do is yoga really does connect you with your higher self. Just get into a stance and just pose. Do the downward dog and pose. But while you pose and breathe, everything is about our nervous system and keeping it at bay. Loving yourself is about keeping that nervous system calm. So love yourself in that way. Love yourself by taking care of yourself. Watch what you eat, the music you listen to, the company you keep, and the time you spend. What you spend your time doing will determine how well you love yourself. So it's a quick thought for the day. Continue loving yourself and be peaceful.